Welcome back. Domain tree architecture and design. Session 3.4 explain the importance of secure staging deployment concept. So first is secure baseline, a process whereby you use a security standard for any system, applications or service that is considered secure to create your own security benchmark. So we were discussed about this session 3.1. So if you guys missed that, so you can also just go through that section 3.1. Separately securing the baseline code imagine to ensure its integrity. So secure baseline is a no one size fits all approach to security exists even within a single organization across various systems. On the other hand, it is important to consider minimum or baseline standard of security for system, components and applications. So good security practice dictates create a secure baseline built for all systems, components and software application as point of reference. So security based system baselines are often established by government mandate, regulatory bodies or industry guidance. For example, NIST is one of the best examples. NIST SP 800-70 revision 3 is a repository of public available security checklists that provide guidance on the security configuration settings of operating systems and applications. Generally, the environment needs of an organization follow the legacy, enterprise or high security client level. A legacy client has the lowest lockdown level. A good baseline is needed for these computers because of their vulnerabilities and lack of capabilities to configure tightened security settings. So the enterprise client environment is designed to provide solid security for the organizations and allow the use of more restrictive security templates for added security. Using security templates also allow the organization to introduce additional roles on top of the baseline template for easier implementation. In a high security environment, the settings are restrictive and many applications might not function under these types of configurations. Therefore, having a baseline is important. Baseline must be updated regularly, certainly when the network has changed or new technology has been deployed. So application baseline is similar to operating system baseline because it provides a reference point of normal and abnormal activities. Application must also be maintained in its current state by regularly reviewing applied updates and applying those that are required for the network configuration solution in use. And initially baseline should be done for both network and application process so that you can tell whether you have a hardware or software issue. So sometimes the application have memory leaks or new version causes because performance issue. Access rights also should be reviewed regularly and performing the permission granted on a group structure similar to the Active Directory. Environment. So we will talk about this next slide. So the next is integrity measurement. Integrity measurements is monitor systems, for example, monitor systems and network operating system service etc. against the baselines of any deviations. So when a program is run on a system, so no indication shows how the code has affected the systems on which the program is run. You don't know for sure that after the program is run, the system is still exactly the same as it was beforehand. With malware being able to infiltrate system is a very low level. Organizations need to be able to securely identify the software running on the system. The way in which data about a system hardware configuration settings or software is collected is referred to as measurement. Integrity measurement uses attestations challenge from computer hashes of system or application information to obtain confidence in the trustworthiness and identify of platform or software. So integrity measurement is done through the trusted platform module TPM at loaded time. When a executable load a hash function is used to fingerprint information. This could be the executable itself, the executable along with the input data or a sequence of related files. The hash value are then used to establish code identifier to verify through attestation. Additionally, these hash values can be used along with a feature called sealed storage. Sealed storage uses cryptographically secret so that only a specific application can open data files. So Linux-based systems have the capability to implement the IMA, integrity measurement architecture, through a kernel mode. The IMA maintains a kernel trust chain. The IMA subsystem calculated the hash of program before loading the program and validates the hash to predefined list. So when the system has a hardware TPM, the IMA maintains both a runtime measurement list and aggregate integrity values over the list. So this helps prevent undetectable software attacks. So integrity measurement mechanisms that have been proposed and developed including the Trusted Computing Group, TCG. So it has defined the core root of trusted measurement. The first action executed when booting. So the CRTM measures the bootloaders and sends the hash value to TPM for storage in one of the platform configuration register before execution. After bootloader executions and before OS execution, the OS image is measured and the value is stored in a PCR extensions. This process continues for all loaded applications. So when an attestation challenge occurs, the TPM assigns a set of PCR values with an attestation identifier key. So let's go for that. For example, the tripwire hash checkings. So this is the best example for this, the integrity measurements. So we'll go for the next slide. Environments. Separating environments for increased security. First is a development test, stage and productions, sandboxing. Development is application development, test is a replications, production as much as possible. Let's talk about the development and test. So organizations generally implement physical isolations or VLAN segmentation between the different environments. In the development phase of a software, the environment tends to be less restrictive for logic writes because deeper level of access might be required during development. When several developers are working on the same project, it is often advisable to have them work in a sandbox or virtual environment so the code is not overwritten as it is developed. Versioning control software helps keep tracking of the software. Code gets checked out of a versions control repository so that the system maintains a record of the code changing that occur. The development environment consolidated and validated the project team's work so that it can be tested. The test environment should be isolated from the development. During the testing phase, the code is tested to determine how it interacted with the normal environment. The test environment is a clean copy of the development environment used for integration testing. So the test environment also measures the performance characteristics of the software. In a physical isolation environment, a firewall normally separates this environment from each other and the outside world. In VLAN segmentations, VLANs are often mapped into security zone. Traffic between zones must pass through a firewalls that enforce the segmentation rules between the environment. Test and development environment often have lower security levels. Keeping them separate or isolated from the staging and production environments provides segregations and prevent untrusted code from accidentally being deployed. So development and testing environment often are deployed using a public cloud provider, and staging and production environment are deployed within organization private networks. So we will talk about the staging and production. A staging environment is often implemented to reduce the risk of introduction issues upon deployment in the production environment. The staging environment is primarily used to unit test the actual deployment of a code. The staging environment should closely match the production environment. The staging environment can also verify that the software runs under security settings. Although the settings environment should be closely matched to the production environment, using virtual machines in the staging environment might be acceptable as long as they are not measuring performance. The staging environment can also be used for demonstrations or training environment. The developers should be able to deploy codes to the staging environments. Care must be taken to be sure the versioning control is employed, that the proper versions of the software is ported over. Staging basically provide us one last opportunity to find and remove flaws or features that are not intended for productions. After the code has been thoroughly tested and run through the staging environment, it can be deployed productions. That production environment is the final stage in the process, and actual live environment that will be running the code. The production environment should contain only applications that have already developed. So all pertained security things should apply. Access to a production environment should be limited to a few experienced developers. Sandboxing, a complete isolated test environments. Sandboxing, although sandboxing and virtualizations are commonly thought to be the same, they are two different technology. The basic idea of sandboxing is to provide a safe executions environment for untrusted programs. Sandboxing allows programs and processes to be run in an isolated environment to limit access to file and the host system. Running a program or file in sandbox contain it so that it can be tested and also reduce some security issues because the program or file cannot harm the host or make any changes to the host. In the respect, sandboxing is similar to virtualizations because actions within the sandbox are contained to the environment. Generally, programs or file runnings inside a sandbox appears normal. So whether or not you realize it, web page you visit run in a sandbox. Web page are restricted to run in a browser. In most browsers, all HTML rendering and JavaScript executions are isolated in their own classes of process. PDF files runs in a sandbox, and group policy allows Microsoft Office 2016 to block macro using sandbox mode. When macro blocking is enabled, it prevents use from exiting the protected view sandbox when opening Word document in Outlook. So often when an endpoint has a cloud enhanced antivirus product installed, the antivirus product employs an internet connected sandbox as part of a cloud service to suspicious programs are automatically run in virtual environments. So both iOS and Android's isolations applications and sensitive operating system feature using sandboxing. So third-party free programs are also available to run programs sandbox. So as you can see in the picture, the popular program Sandboxy. So you can also play around with that. Sandboxing is mainly used for security, but another common use is malware analyze. For example, for individual analyze, Coco Sandbox can examine a suspicious file and quickly provide detailed results of the file actions when executed inside the isolated environment. So on the enterprise levels, a Blue Code malware analyze and sandboxing capability can provide an emulation sandboxing for analyzing files that detect virtual environment and refuse to run, as well as a visual sandbox for both PCs and mobile environment. Enterprise solutions often integrate with the other tools to interact with the malwares, gathering intelligence and provide remediations. So exam preparations. Bob is a CISO for a financial institution, so he is looking for environment used for testing that is completely off of their network. So which do you recommend? Answer: A, Sandbox. Answer is A, Sandbox. So that's it guys for this video. So please subscribe my channel, press the bell button to get more updates. So share the video if you like. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.